Chief Minister Andrew Barr providing the latest COVID update on the first day of lockdown.
COVID-19 cases since yesterday evening. This brings the total number of active cases to 6. We've had more than 3,900 people identified through the Check-in Canberra app as either close or casual contacts. We continue to work through the detail of each of those cases. And 1,862 is the current number of close contacts who are associated with this outbreak. This work continues to go through the Check-in Canberra data for each exposure site, and so it is likely that the number of close contacts will increase. It was obviously a significant number of people coming forward to be tested yesterday evening. More than 2,000 tests have been conducted. So far, we have received back the results on about 1,330 of those, 1,330 negative tests, together with the small number of positive tests that lead to the outcome of these 6 active cases at this time. Now, we understand that there have been significant waiting times associated with testing. As we work through the exposure sites and parts of the community that are at most risk and we have the greatest need to get tested, we will be standing up additional testing capacity. Right now, we are asking those who have been contacted by ACT Health as a close contact and anyone who has symptoms to come forward for testing. Now, we understand that there will be many people who are anxious and want to get the peace of mind of a negative test result. But the priority right now is to test the close contacts and anyone who has symptoms. We will be expanding testing capacity, hours of operation, and the number of people at each existing testing centre can manage in a day. But yesterday was our all-time record number of tests. We expect today will be even busier, and we've stood up additional testing capacity. So please, if you do not have symptoms and you are not an identified close contact, you do not need to be tested today. Please stay at home. There will be an opportunity to be tested in the days ahead, but the priority right now is to test those people who ACT Health have contacted. This is important so that we can identify the close contacts, whether they're positive or negative, and get further information to our contact tracers around potential additional exposure sites. We will be regularly updating our website to provide the community with information on any new identified exposure sites. And Dr. Coleman will provide some further information on what we've learnt since our last press conference here 24 hours ago. In terms of business and individual financial support, we have been able to reach agreement with the Commonwealth Government for a range of support measures consistent with every other Australian outbreak. So COVID disaster payments will be available for people who have lost work as a result of the lockdown. Exactly the same way as in New South Wales, Victoria, Queensland and South Australia through Services Australia and MyGov. Similarly, we have reached agreement with the Commonwealth Government on a business support package. Again, the same methodology and approach as was adopted in the recent South Australian 7-day lockdown. Information for businesses is available at the ACT Government Business Hub. That is a link off the ACT Government website. We will be providing a range of support for businesses and individuals We recognise the impact of the lockdown on individuals and businesses. The business support measures, as has been the case with other jurisdictions, are funded 50-50 between the Australian government and the ACT government. This has been a challenging period for Canberra, but the response to the lockdown today has been very good. I want to thank Canberrans for doing the right thing and staying at home. As I mentioned yesterday, the virus only transmits between people when you come into close contact with each other. So the reason for the lockdown is to avoid that sort of interpersonal contact as much as possible. It's been somewhat frustrating and disappointing to see so many people seeking to access supermarkets yesterday afternoon. I want to reassure the community that supermarkets and essential supplies will remain open every day through the lockdown. So there is no need to panic buy. You can get what you need each and every day during the lockdown. But we ask again that you go in, shop for what you need and leave. We want to reduce any risk to workers in our supermarkets who are working incredibly hard to keep the shelves stocked so that we can access the groceries and supplies that we need. But there is no need to panic. The shops that provide essential services are open every day. Now, it's going to be a quiet weekend in Canberra. Very quiet. We need people to stay at home. 1 hour of exercise outside with your household. If you live alone, you are able to identify one other household, one other person to be your bubble buddy for this time. But overall, what we need is people to stay at home, to not mix with other people. Now's not the time to pop over and see mum or dad, or your cousins, or your brothers and sisters, or your mates. Stay at home. Do the right thing by yourself, your family, and this community. Together we'll be able to get through this if everyone does the right thing. I'll now invite Dr. Coleman to provide some further information on the overnight cases. Minister Berry and Minister Stephen Smith will then provide updates, and then we're happy to take questions. Thank you.